My name is Dr. Najmi. This is Dr. Anderson.
We will be your examiners for this part of the oral examination. Before we begin, I'd like to tell you a bit about the format of the examination. We will cover a specific number of cases, and we'll give you the opportunity to answer all the questions and cover each of the cases. We may interrupt you and ask you to move on if time becomes an issue. Feel free to ask questions. You can ask to see any of the images within each case, but once we have moved on to the next case, we will not return to a previous one. Feel free to take any notes that you wish, and there's some water to enjoy if you require. But you will need to leave the notes with us at the end of the session. Are there any questions?
No, I'm okay.
Let's begin with the first case then. Here's a clinical photo of a 4-year-old boy with a carious primary molar. How would you manage the patient in this situation?
Well, the marginal ridge is broken down, so I would think the decay is close to the pulp. Do you have a radiograph?
Here it is.
Okay, yes. The radiograph shows that the decay is very close to the pulp. What are the symptoms?
A spontaneous pain. What is the likely diagnosis here?
I would say pulpitis.
And what would your treatment be?
Likely a pulpotomy will be needed.
Which materials would you use?
Either formocresol or ferric sulfate would work in this situation.
And in this particular situation, which would be best and why?
Well, random clinical trials show comparable results, so either could be used.
With this particular patient, what could be a concern about using formocresol?
I would say systemic toxicity and mutagenic potential because of the age of the patient and because...
Okay, thank you. Now let's assume you proceed with the pulpotomy. During the procedure, the patient bleeds extensively. What would you do?
I'd control the bleeding with pressure from a cotton pallet.
And for how long?
5 minutes.
You removed the pellet and the patient continues to bleed profusely. What do you do now?
This indicates that inflammation is likely within pulp canals. Either pulpectomy or extraction is indicated. I would use endodontic files to...
All right, we're going to stop you right there. We need to move on to the next case in order to get through the rest of the examination material. A 40-year-old man comes to you complaining of 2 weeks of pain in the lower left molar. What would you do to work up his complaint?
What type of pain does he present with?
A sharp pain relating to hot and cold.
After the extraction, I would have a follow-up session with the patient to ensure that everything had healed smoothly.
That concludes our examination session.
Thank you very much.